Always Sideways Studio.
Hello, staff. My name is Michaela Capoeira. In 2 months, I'll be graduating from this school. Throughout my 4 years here, I've had high academic achievement. I've carried over a 3.6 GPA, received academic awards, and accepted the Solano County Student of the Year in 2016 and 2017 for helping kids with disabilities. I love taking science courses here. However, I have to say my favorite subject is chemistry. I'm not the very best at math, but dealing with all the equations and lab experiments, I put my mind into wanting to major in science while I attend college. I am also a successful athlete. The game I play is softball. I have played all 4 years and currently play on the varsity team. While playing softball, I suffered a torn bicep tendon and had to spend 3 months in physical therapy. This experience helped me learn certain abilities and exercise I didn't know my muscles could perform. Upon acquiring this knowledge, I made a decision to pursue a career in physical therapy. Now it is my desire to help the physically impaired to regain strength and live an active life. My injury helped shed a light on individuals in reaching out to a helping hand. This all reflects on one extraordinary club that I am involved in. This club is called Common Ground Club at my school. This is where I work, play, and enjoy my time helping out students with autism. In addition, I like to volunteer my time helping out at Special Olympics during the summer with my sister and dad. Every now and then, to better the environment, Common Ground Club will go to local beaches and parks to clean up. I also volunteer at Virgil's Bait Shop in Sassoon City to pack up bait for customers, stock snacks, and lastly deliver and pack ice. After leaving Rodriguez, I will continue my journey to Boca Raton, Florida, to attend and start my collegiate career at Lynn University on an academic and athletic scholarship, wherein I will be majoring in biology and eventually do physical therapy. I feel I can best represent Rodriguez High School because not many people have the drive to do what I love to do. That love is playing ball and helping those who is in need of a helping hand. Thank you.
Our next Mustang is Miss Gabby Lopez.
Okay. First off, I want to say thank you to the teacher who nominated me and congratulations to the nominees behind me. Responsible, honorable, and safe, that is the motto for Angelo Rodriguez High School. Fortunately, I am very lucky to call myself a Mustang. I would not trade anything in the world for my high school memories and experience. To start off, my name is Gabrielle Lopez, but most people will call me Gabby. I moved here to Fairfield in 6th grade, and from then on, my life has been a roller coaster consisting of many ups and downs. Before I go any further, I would like to thank my friends, family, and the RHS staff for paving the path to who I am today and who I will be in the future. Like most students who go into high school, I was very excited, but I was also very fearful of the future and what my high school experience holds for me. Now that I stand here today, it is proof that I survived in high school as well as growth throughout. Not only have I passed, I exceeded my own expectations in some ways. Throughout most of my high school career, I chose the path to stay on mainly regular classes. It wasn't because I doubted myself, it was because I knew I had a lot of things to juggle around, and it was in my best interest and health to not overwork myself, but rather keep a well-balanced schedule to work with. However, I did take 2 AP classes. One AP class I took was AP Computer Science Principles. I chose to take this class because I know that as time advances, so does technology. Another AP course I took was AP European History. For me, this class was probably the most challenging because history is not my strongest point, but I was able to pull through. Out of all my classes I took in my 4 years, my favorite subjects would have to be English and choir. Ever since I started going to school, English has always been one of my favorite subjects. Choir not only increased my range in voice, but it has also taught me to step out of my comfort zone and speak in front of crowds without wanting to pass out. Throughout choir, I was able to successfully learn a little bit of music theory thanks to Mr. Miller's strict teachings. Outside of my academic life, I was the president of a huge and amazing club called Key Club. Key Club has allowed me to acquire the skills needed for when I get out of high school and into adulthood. Skills such as communication, teamwork, dedication, and discipline are just some of the many. Another extracurricular activity I do outside of school is USPSA. USPSA stands for United States Practical Shooting Association. Within this association, I participate in pistol competitions. After 2 years of competing, I am proud to say that I am a sponsored shooter from multiple companies helping me to grow and improve my skill. I have traveled out of state for many competitions and gained many achievements and met hundreds of amazing people. In 2015 and 2016, I placed in the top 3s of my division. I was able to also attend MGM Junior Camp for 2 years and meet many well-known shooters as well as many people of my age. Lastly, volunteer work plays a huge part in my life and what has helped me choose my career in the near future. I realized after doing several different events, seeing a person smile and how much it can impact me, being able to protect and help someone is one of the best feelings I can ever experience in my whole life, and I will never ever get tired of it. Now that my high school career is coming to an end, I must prepare for a new career that will support not only me, but my family as well. After high school, I plan to join the Navy after 2 years in junior college. Then from there, I will work hard and train to be a part of the law enforcement and security field.
Thank you, Gabby. Our next candidate is Danielle Davidson.
Hi everyone. Rodriguez High School has taught me a lot more than I expected, because somehow I'm graduating now with much more knowledge than I had intended to gain. I learned things that textbooks couldn't teach me. From science, I learned that everything is much more complex than it seems. English has taught me that everything has a deeper meaning if you read between the lines. Math has taught me that I can solve even life's most difficult problems. My foreign language classes have encouraged me to explore and appreciate different cultures. Music has taught me to embrace my mistakes because they can turn into something beautiful. Theater has taught me that the way in what one presents themselves is the way the world will see them. Athletics has taught me that one's will and determination can be far more powerful than skill alone. Most importantly, my interactions with all of these various groups has taught me that social status lines are crossed if inclusion is at the forefront. Personally, I have never been the one to start off the year with a perfect score on my English test, and I'm rarely the first person to grasp a new calculus concept. I'm not the fastest or strongest physical presence on the volleyball court, but these facts never deter me from working hard day in and day out to succeed. Whether that includes staying up later than my classmates to master a subject or performing more box jumps to improve my vertical, I'm committed to putting in extra effort to achieve my success. On my college applications, I wrote that I was in leadership in various AP classes, in multiple clubs, in theater, in music, in athletics, and was a straight-A student with over 100 hours of community service. Yes, these things look impressive on paper and help me gain acceptance to the University of California, Davis, where I will be attending in the fall. However, looking back, I realized that the importance of all these accomplishments were not what brought me happiness. Happiness was not found in achievement. Rather, it was found in the connections with others and the friendships that were made along the way. A beautiful quote by Madeline Sheeha inspires me to continue to strive to make new relationships with others. There will be a reason why you meet people. Either you need them to change your life, or you're the one that will change theirs. High school has changed my life and molded me into the person that I am today. And hopefully I've played a role in positively changing the lives of others. So as I look back on the hard work that I've put into my academics and extracurriculars here at Rodriguez, I see the lessons that I've learned, the people that I've met, and the happiness that it all brings me. Coming into high school, I had a fictitious vision of the stereotypical rankings and cliques, the jocks, the nerds, the theater geeks. I never wanted to be labeled by just one of them. So I strove to be in as many groups and activities as possible, because I didn't want my experience here at Rodriguez to be constrained by any one social label. So now I'm graduating as an athlete, a musician, an actress, a nerd, a leader, and therefore a great representation of an RHS student. Thank you.
Thank you, Danielle. And now Mustang Nathan F.
Before I start, I would like to say that it is truly an honor to be up here today. It means a lot to me. All right. What if our world was full of people that weren't afraid to be themselves? People that are so unapologetically them that they are willing to embarrass themselves to inspire others. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why I'm here. My identity at Rodriguez is built on the foundation of embarrassing moments. Let me explain. So who was at the rally last fall? We're in front of the whole school. Zane Watson and I slid headfirst into the wall during the box race. Or who remembers when I was suspended 3 feet in the air by duct tape in the middle of A-Quad? What do these two experiences have in common? Well, they both involve a wall. I'm not talking about the brick and mortar structure in both examples, but the emotional wall, the fear of not fitting in. From my first day at Rodriguez, I've been working to conquer that wall. I put myself out there and participated in events like sideline reporting at basketball games. And I was even a cheerleader at the Powder Puff football games. I mean, what guy doesn't love wearing pink shorts? I opened myself up to potentially embarrassing situations, and I took risks, but I never did it alone. My Rodriguez family was there with me. I have the most amazing friends in the world to support me. David, Riley, Zane, Danielle, Charlotte, Cassie, just to name a few. Not only friends, but teachers and staff, Mr. Isidore, Miss Klein, Miss M, Miss Gagno, Mr. Lovinger, Miss Warsaw, just to name a few again, that have not only taught me what's in the textbook, but so much more. I mean, Mr. Isidore and Miss Klein have even gone to the extent to sit with us at lunch in a lawn chair. I don't know what's better than that. My Rodriguez family has always been there for me, and I hope you felt I was there for you as well. Rodriguez is an awesome spirited school, and I've tried my best to drive that culture. I want to be the role model for the underclassmen. I want them to take chances. I want them to put themselves out there and maybe even get embarrassed. Because as I've learned from my last 4 years at Rodriguez, that's how you become the best version of yourself. We're about to head into the wide world full of new experiences and new walls. It's time to use the tools we've learned here at Rodriguez. We'll probably fall down a few times, and that's okay. What's most important is that we find the courage to get back up and conquer the wall before us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is be unapologetically yourself. Trust in your friends and family, take those risks, and keep climbing, even if it means getting embarrassed once in a while. I want to thank my Rodriguez family, and even though we will not be together every day, you will always be there for me whenever I face a new wall. Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan. Mustang Aman Bajwa.
Hi, my name is Amin Bajwa. I'm honored to be nominated for RHS Senior Student of the Year. As the last couple months of my senior year approach, I'm surprised by how quickly the last 4 years seem to have flown by. However, when I think about how I've spent my life on the RHS campus, it's evident that what has felt like nothing but a routine has really meant everything to me. My time here has yielded a tremendous amount of change and growth within me, not only as a student, but as a young woman, and I hope that my personal journey serves as a representation of what RHS students are capable of. As a student at RHS, I have found that there are always opportunities for every student to be a leader. Through girls' tennis, feminist club, interact club, and leadership in ASB especially, I have learned what it means to truly be a leader, to reciprocate trust within one another, encourage genuine and thoughtful activism, and always lead with kindness. As an RHS student leader, I have continuously tried to stand up for what I believe in, while also standing up for others, doing the most good for the most people. While challenging myself in academics has never been something I shy away from, what has driven me throughout high school to take academically challenging courses is that I'm naturally curious and I'm genuinely excited about learning. The diverse range of classes I have taken at RHS have allowed me an outlet in which to express my curiosity, and I am grateful to have been a part of a school that has allowed me to achieve academic success while still supporting my creative and diverse interests. Each class not only taught me new subject matter, but has allowed me to better understand myself and my interests. Taking French for the past 4 years has taught me to love new languages, discover new cultures, and definitely want to travel as much as possible. My AP English classes and journalism have fed my love for writing and literature and have definitely influenced my desires to continue writing and continue learning about English in my future. Taking AP Art History this year is a privilege that I had, and it exposed me to an academic discipline that I was totally unaware of, but is now one of my favorite classes. And all of them have culminated a distinct respect and passion for the arts and humanities that I hope to incorporate into my future career. However, I can confidently say that every class I have taken at RHS has contributed to the person I am today. Through wholeheartedly accepting every opportunity that RHS has offered me and making the most out of these last 4 years, I believe that I have served as a positive example of what an RHS student is. But more than that, I hope that all of you, The people that create these opportunities for students at RHS can see that your hard work is equally reflected in my achievements. And as I now reflect back on high school and this community, I am filled with happy memories and feel empowered with the strong skills that I will carry with me forward in college at UCLA. Thank you again for the nomination.
Thank you, Norman. Mustang Zakiah Nichols.
Good afternoon, faculty and fellow students. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Zakiah Nichols. I have to say, it's such an honor to stand in front of all of you today. First, I'd like to give thanks to all of you. Without you being here to provide quality education and support for students, we would not be able to receive opportunities of a lifetime. For the past 4 years I've attended Rodriguez High School, I'm proud of myself and who I've become. I've kept up with a solid GPA each year, ranging from a 3.2 to 3.8. And no, I didn't achieve this on my own, but with the support of my teachers, my family, and a few classmates I met along the way. There was a point where I found myself falling a bit behind, but it was the thought of me succeeding in life and moving on to bigger things that kept me motivated. With my activities inside and outside school, I just knew there was no time for giving up. A couple of years ago, I made the decision of not taking any AP classes. I asked students, were the classes difficult? Some seemed to stress over the work, others claimed it was easy. I felt like these classes would put more pressure on me on top of my life outside of school and my sports, wrestling, and track and field. I guess it all depends on the type of student you are and how motivated you are to make it through. With that being said, I feel like I missed out on some opportunities, but did what I believe would benefit me in the end. Personally, I feel like trying new things can be good. Trying new things can be like going on an adventure, but we know that sometimes that adventure can lead you down a different path. When I first came to Rodriguez as a freshman, I wanted to try a lot of things. I like to stay involved in things going on in my community, in school. Here we had so many events and clubs, so I began going to meetings to learn more about each one. I started with Key Club, then Black Student Union, and later Future Medical Club. I see many of the clubs at our school as eye-openers, which is another thing I appreciate. I then began looking into sports, starting with wrestling, as my parents wanted me to give a try and give it my all. After that season, I flowed into track and field. I tried different events and stuck with what was fit for me. In both sports, I ended up doing very well and progressing every year. I'd like to thank all my coaches for being there, especially the teachers who take more time out of their day to help us student athletes succeed. As of right now, I'm still in the process of weighing out my options for college. While attending college, I do plan to continue my athletic career. I hope to achieve my goal in pursuing a degree in criminal justice. I want to make a difference not only in my community, but worldwide. When I look at myself, I see a leader. I take pride in helping others while hoping they choose the right direction for themselves. I'm not always right, and I make mistakes, but I am a wise young lady who has a purpose on this earth just like you. It's such an honor to be considered Student of the Year. Thanks for your consideration.
Thank you, Zakiah. Now Mustang Cassie Garza.
Hello everyone, I'm Cassie. I just want to say first of all, I'm honored to have been nominated, and congratulations to everyone else who has been nominated. Now I'll begin. Over the course of these last 4 years, I know that I have changed as a student, a daughter, a sibling, and a friend. I also know that these changes would not have happened if not for the influences and experiences I've had here at Rodriguez. At the beginning of high school, I was very intimidated. My 5 older sisters had graduated from here, so I thought I knew what to expect. I knew about the AP classes and sports and the homecoming skits, but what I did not see was the genuine joy I would find in learning. I certainly didn't think I would enjoy AP Calculus, but somehow that happened. The honors classes I enrolled in for my freshman year pushed me to study hard, be disciplined, and succeed in academics. Throughout high school, I maintained an unweighted GPA of 4.0, including the years in which over half of my course load was AP classes. As some of you may know, my motto has been, pain is temporary, GPA is forever. Yes, that is melodramatic, and no, GPA is not exactly forever. And that is not what being an RHS student is all about. While being successful academically has given me self-confidence and a love of learning, Rodriguez has shown me what else lasts forever. What an RHS student like myself holds forever is Friday nights under those stadium lights. It's hearing Mr. Miller whistle and watching a room full of band kids instantly stand at attention. It's smiling for a selfie with Mr. Isidore after a basketball game. That being said, being an RHS student is about experiences and lessons learned. Over the years, I have enjoyed participating in sports, clubs, co-curricular classes like marching band, and community service. As a freshman on the JV girls soccer team, I was anxious to prove myself, both to the coaches and to other players. I dreaded the thought of failure on the field. By my senior year, I have received individual recognition. From the past 4 banquets, I've received Offensive Player of the Year, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, that kind of stuff. But this is not the most fulfilling aspect of participating in the sport at all. I was most fulfilled by my role as a captain. Sorry. A wise man once said, "It's not about being right, it's about learning." Just kidding, that was Mr. Sheeter. That is, not being right on the field or making mistakes taught me to embrace imperfection and to grow from it. So I would like to end with a quote from one of my friends and someone I personally look up to, Jason Mosier. He told me in psychology the other day, "Cassie, if you're not dead, then you're not done." And that's true. All that hard work can make you feel exhausted and even dead. But at the end of the day, the effort put into growth and learning is never wasted, and that is something I will always carry with me thanks to my time at Rodriguez. Thank you.
Cassie. And now Mustang Charlotte Bryn Crowley.
Hi, thank you for your nomination and congratulations to everyone else that's nominated. So, I have heard the saying, hindsight is 20/20. And it wasn't until this past year that I understood what this means. Standing here now, with this group of peers, I realize that the past 4 years have been about my growth as a student and a person. My high school experience has shown me how much you can learn, whether it's in a classroom, from your teachers, from your friends, or through your experiences. This said, I believe the best representation of an RHS student can be summed up in a rule of 3. First rule, hard work or work hard. There is no better feeling knowing you put everything you have into your work. The outcome of hard work is generally a good grade. When you get the good grades, you start a self-perpetuating cycle that keeps you motivated to work hard. Looking in this room today, I know I am not the one with the best grades. I know I am not the most athletic, and I know I am not the best speech writer or giver. What I do know, however, is that, like my fellow nominees, I have worked hard to get where I am. I know I challenged myself by taking AP and honors classes, and being surrounded by this very group of people makes me realize their performance challenged me. Seeing them work hard to achieve their goals forced me to play up every day. I can almost argue it is because of their influence on my work ethic, I have managed to maintain around a 4.3 grade point average, start school at 7 a.m. every day for leadership, and stay after school until 7 p.m. at times for track meets and varsity tennis. This influence leads me into my second rule, being inspired. I have allowed myself the opportunity of being inspired by those around me. I have known some of my peers in this room since the 6th grade, some from even before then. Not a day goes by where something they have said or done doesn't have an influence on me. But mostly, I find myself in awe of everything they do. And I am fortunate to say that I am not just inspired by a few people, but by all my teachers and classmates around Rodriguez. I consider myself lucky to be a part of this RHS environment. I consider myself even luckier because being around them just makes me want to be kinder and wiser. I know that I try to achieve the best I can be, in large part because of them. I know they probably work as hard or even harder than me, but they make it seem so effortless. And this is where my third rule comes in. Time management. Managing your time can be hard. Even with spending as much time with some of the best workers and time managers I know, it took me a couple of years to grab onto this notion. My mom and I have always gone by the saying, never burn a candle at both ends. However, with all that we as students put on our plate, it was, and still is, hard for me to prioritize my time. In August of 2016, I started anticipating the year I had ahead of me. Balancing 4 AP classes was not going to be easy. All summer I had been going nonstop, working, playing tennis, and commuting between my two families. Early one morning, I was driving home from my dad's, who lives about an hour and a half away, when it happened. I fell asleep at the wheel while driving 70 on the freeway. I only know this because I woke up to the sound of screeching metal. It wasn't until the beginning of October of my junior year, and when all of our nerves calmed, my parents and I had a long discussion around the importance of managing time and prioritizing life. This is where I made a shift in my work and time management. I saw my grades improve, I got more sleep, my skin cleared up, I saw my relationships get better, and I was a happier person. Now as I stand here today, I believe these 3 rules are tenets that make up the best representation of any RHS student. Every Student of the Year nominee is worthy of this honor. I am humbled to be nominated with this crowd of students, or more, specifically people I call friends. I know that because of my time here at Rodriguez, I will succeed because I have learned to work hard, I have learned to surround myself with inspiring people, and most importantly, I have learned that a candle that's lit on one end gives me all the light I need. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte. Mustang Mariah Costa.
Okay, I'd like to begin by sharing with you a piece of my story. The story takes place in a 3rd grade classroom in the fall of 2008. On that day, the teacher was out after undergoing surgery, so the class had a substitute teacher. All the students had their individual assignments that rotated every day, so everyone had the opportunity to be some kind of leader. Now, this story is about 2 little 8-year-old girls and the guest teacher. Let's call the girls Brave Girl and Shy Girl. On this day, Shy Girl was assigned to lead the flag salute. Politely and quietly, as she was incredibly shy and nervous by nature, she informed the teacher that she does not recite the Pledge of Allegiance because of her religious faith. The teacher became enraged and proceeded to berate the little girl for not loving her country, insisting that the child was not acting of her own mind, but was instead being controlled by parents who were forcing her to live a life a certain way. And she continued to attempt to force the girl to betraying everything that she stood for in order to please her own view of the matter. This is when Brave Girl comes in. In the middle of the teacher verbally harassing Shy Girl, Brave Girl stands up and says, "It's her right to say it or not. It's just not what she does." And the whole class joins in with Brave Girl in a chorus, asking the teacher to please leave Shy Girl alone. Now, I wish I could say that I was the brave little girl who defended the Shy Girl with big beliefs, but I wasn't. I was Shy Girl. However, there was one statement that I made clear to that teacher that day. It's not my parents making this choice, it's me. The point of the story in this case is not what I believe. You may not agree with my viewpoint on the issue at hand, and you may not understand my reasoning behind it, but certainly you can agree on my right to make the choice. The school that I went to so long ago is not in the school district. It is far, far away, both in my memories and literal distance, but it has shown me just how fortunate I am to go to a school like Rodriguez. A school with a student body so diverse, not just in the color of their skin, but in their different beliefs, ideologies, and perspectives, that we all encourage and motivate each other to stand firm in what we believe in and cultivate what is important to us individually. The world around us is changing rapidly, as every day we are hearing news reports of different political issues affecting society and therefore changing our lives and our school. Without a strong belief system, you can easily succumb to the popular opinion of the moment because, quite frankly, it is the easiest thing to do. Holding on to your beliefs is not always easy. Like I mentioned earlier, I am shy by nature, so speaking up is something I was not particularly fond of. Was not. Because through many teachers and peers at Rodriguez, I have learned how to speak loudly and proudly about what makes me, me. Specifically, without my involvement with theater at RHS or the many inspiring teachers I've had throughout high school, I wouldn't have even been able to speak before you today. But no matter where you start, by using all the resources you have in life to the fullest and remaining true to yourself, you can accomplish things you never dreamed were possible. That is what Rodriguez High School has taught me. When I think back on the incident in the 3rd grade, I often think that if the teacher was strong in her beliefs that she professed to have, then she would not have treated me that way. Because the country that she loved so much and believed in so passionately is the same one that gives me the freedom to express my beliefs. And by attempting to stop me, she is hindering the freedom that she claimed to believe in. What makes me a good representative of an RHS student is way more than my GPA, AP classes, and many extracurriculars. It's the qualities that come from within: determination, focus, and all our own diverse beliefs, cultures, and backgrounds. You see, the previous story was not about the flag salute. It wasn't even about the teacher. It was about me and my identity. You can define my identity in many ways. I'm a student. I'm a dancer. I'm the daughter of a Portuguese immigrant who inspires me every day. I am dedicated. I am hardworking. I am strong in my beliefs. I am unique. I am diverse. I am a Mustang. Thank you.
First of all, students, I want to say how proud we are of you, faculty, staff, teachers, family members, administrators, to see where you were and where you are now. Sitting here being able to talk about the dream of being a Mustang, how we impacted your lives for 4 years. You will never leave. My art, you will never leave everyone else's art. Because it's strong individuals like you that makes us work harder and harder and harder to make you the best that you can be. If we care about each and every one of you, we wish you the blessings for a great college or career that you have, and may peace be with you. And thank your teachers. Thank you, teachers. Talking about the whole process that we met, and again, we want to say thank you so much. So Ms. Kate Gagnon.